Hey everyone, quick question for you. Can Manchester United chalk off that Everton result as maybe a blip in our unbeaten run, or was that massive win at Selhurst Park against Crystal Palace? Was that us kind of picking up where we left off? How should Ruben Amorim go about unlocking a stingy defense against West Ham tomorrow? Something he couldn't do against 10-man Everton. We are chilling with Dylan tonight, as you can see. And with your help, we're going to answer some of those questions because we do host West Ham tomorrow. It is a big match at Old Trafford. It's nice to be back at Old Trafford. Dylan, how you doing?
Mm-hmm. Doing well, man. Doing well. Busy, but doing well.
Yeah. What's well? What does well look like in Dylan's world this week?
Uh,
That's my
being
therapist question.
productive, getting things done. Yeah, being productive, getting things done, and just trying to survive.
Yeah. Wow.
it's
Well,
it's we're getting to the
went to a
nitty
dark
gritty at
place.
school, at work. Yeah, getting to the nitty gritty at work with end of semester, and
Yeah.
my college classes are getting to the nitty gritty with that. And Minnie keeps deciding to challenge my authority by jumping on countertops, as she just did right now.
Nice.
So,
Cats, man. Tiny little demons. Tiny little demons. But you guys, welcome back to the channel. This is United vs. Everybody. We're chilling with Dylan. Like I said, I am your host, Sean. We are going to preview the West Ham match. We're going to talk a little tactics. We're going to talk a little team form, team news, because we got some interesting comments from Ruben Amorim, and I've got some questions for y'all about a certain young midfielder. And then obviously, with your help, we're going to do some predictions and starting 11. Dylan's got his starting 11. I've got my starting 11. I'm sure you guys have some too. So we're going to do that. So make sure you like and make sure you subscribe into the channel if you are new. Check those memberships. It is the best way to get involved in the channel. And as you can see in the top corner, 20% off this week at the United vs. Everybody store for Cyber Week. So get your stuff in time for Christmas at 20% off. One-of-a-kind gear, just like the green and gold, the OG United vs. Everybody. So we're going to dive right in, you guys.
I'm
Danny,
just want to drop that. Just I'm so excited to wear our United versus Everybody stuff over there.
just unashamedly, just self-promotion. I don't even care. I got I
Exactly.
got a I got a fun new shirt that I'll rock on the channel sometime soon when it gets a little closer to Christmas as
Woo!
well. I took the Christmas lights down. I think they were interfering with my Wi-Fi connection a little bit.
Mm,
Although I did read that Uverse ATT has been crap the last couple weeks, so it is what it is.
gotcha.
But Danny V's in the house. Yes, please do hit that like button. Bexy's in the house. Hope you're doing well, Bexy. Yep, we're gonna ask for you guys' predictions in your starting 11s, who you're picking, who you're dropping, who may be injured. I've got a poll going in the live chat, so get your predictions in for the results. I don't want to see any any West Ham wins in there. Danny wants to know if we watch Mayor of Kingstown, based in Detroit. Have you watched Mayor of Kingstown?
I have not, but my brother has, and he says it's really good. So
Is it one of those Taylor Sheridan shows? Is that what that is?
I think so.
Like the Yellowstone guy, and I've watched
Hmm.
Yellowstone. I don't know. Have you watched Yellowstone?
Yeah, bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, to me Yellowstone's kind of like Lost. Like for the first couple seasons, I was like, this is lit, and then like the next couple seasons, I was just like, all right, this is getting kind of boring.
Yeah.
I watch a little Landman. That seems
Hmm.
very similar to Yellowstone, so it's like you can pick one. With Taylor Sheridan shows, I feel like it's kind of like hospital shows or like law shows. Like you don't have to watch them all; you just kind of pick one to watch. They're all pretty much the same. Um, but we'll see. Mayor of Kingstown was probably next on my list, but I just finished watching the entire MASH series again because I watch that like once a year, so
Nice.
we're good there.
Excellent choice.
It's my favorite show. Again, it might pop up in trivia someday, you guys. Danny's already calling Bruno being out. I know some
I
people were
hope
talking
not.
about. Jarvis was talking about that in his channel earlier. Now, Amarim said after the Crystal Palace match that Bruno just got kicked and he was fine, and so we'll see. But Danny likes 1923. Yeah, I like that one better than the 1883 one. But they all kind of blur together because they're all the same. And it doesn't help that Yellowstone, 1923, and 1883 are all basically connected.
Yeah.
So Stephanie's in the house. Big up, Steph. Hope you're doing well.
Hey,
Hope you're doing
Steph.
well. Let's start off with some news. Speaking of Bruno, because Bruno has been named Premier League Player of the Week. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I saw that at first and I thought it said Premier League Player of the Month, and I was ready to I was ready to celebrate more, but still, I mean, player of the week, 2 assists, man of the match against Crystal Palace. He's in with a shout for player of the month. 4 assists in the league
Mhm.
for November. 2 man of the match performances in November. I wouldn't be surprised to see him pick up Premier League player of the month as well. Um, that's coming off the back of Mbumo getting October player of the month. So he's a problem though, right? Bruno's a problem for.
Yes, yes, he's a problem.
Oh man, yeah, dude. So yeah, Premier League player of the week. You feel like that's deserved?
I mean, biased thoughts, yeah, of course, but I don't know. A lot of good performances. I think he did well. I'm not upset by it. I think 2 assists in a match that needed the vigor of that one. That was important.
And
So
he's still
good
leading the
on him.
Premier League with assists, right? If I remember
Yeah, I
correctly.
think he's got 5 or 6 now. I might be low, but
Sorry, I was being very rude for a second. Yeah, he's got 5 assists. He's leading the league. I just saw something that we'll talk about later. We'll do a little bit of a
okay.
laugh at Liverpool later, but I just got to laugh about it. But so yeah, Bruno, Premier League Player of the Week, deserved as well. So you might be able to guess what I want to laugh about.
It's the fact
So
that they took the Florian Wirtz goal away.
yes. Injected into
I
my
loved it
veins.
so much.
Injected into my veins. I saw the replay. I
I
was like, wait, that's an OG.
oh yeah.
Oh boy, yeah. We'll
I,
do
I
the laugh
was
at Liverpool moment now. Go for it. What are you saying?
I watched the first half and I'm like, come on, Sunderland, come on, you got close. They had a couple like Hume had one go off the bar. I was
Yeah.
like, come on, just keep it going. And I saw they were up. I'm like, yes. I just didn't watch the second half, and then I saw Liverpool got it and Wirtz got it. I'm like, crap, we can't keep making fun of him. And then I looked at it later and it went to own goal. I'm like, yes, at least that happened.
So still no goals or assists in the league. Still, he got him in the Champions League for Florian
Yeah,
Wirtz.
yeah,
This is
against
why
German competition.
yeah, this is why I call
Yeah,
him Florian worse than Darwin Nunez. He's just not great.
yeah,
So that's hilarious. Yes, like Stephanie says, Vert's still
love that.
waiting. It's awesome. And hey, in other news, look at that. United brought back the staff Christmas party this year. Look at that. We
That's
actually
yeah. We can
um
celebrate this year.
yeah, right. It's starting to feel a little like it's like the United version of a Christmas Carol or something. It was like
Yeah,
getting to be a little bit of
a
sadness.
little bit of a problem.
Maybe Sir Jim was already anticipating like the Scrooge memes and gifs or something, or the Scrooge
Mm-hmm.
AI generated images that were going to pop out, and wanted to get out ahead of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's 100% what would have
Oh
happened.
boy, a little rat with a Scrooge hat on or something, and Tiny
Yep.
Tim, or like
Yep.
a line of United staff members saying, "Please, sir." Like that's the image right
May I
there.
have some more?
Yeah. Was that? Wait, that's Charles. Is that a Tale of Two Cities or is that Christmas Carol? I
That's
don't know
Tale of
now.
Two Cities.
Is it? Well, it is the best of times and the worst of times at United, pretty much for every fan. So it works.
Yeah.
um, Stephanie says Liverpool first draw. Is it really their first draw of the season too? Wow.
Oh, I don't
So
know.
it's just been just L's basically. How many
Yeah.
L's do you spell slot with now? Is that like 7 or 8 now? It keeps
7,
going
I
up.
think. Yeah. Well, wait, are we including European competition? Because I think it's almost 10.
Oh man, yeah. They're gonna be having like an Arsenal season where like beating Madrid in the Champions League is the highlight of their season. So
Mhm.
like that was Arsenal's highlight of their season last year. Anyway, let's talk a little transfer news because Fabrizio Romano reiterated our interest supposedly in Conor Gallagher, who apparently, according to Fabrizio Romano, could be available for just 26 million in January. I don't know what your thoughts on that. I put out that poll a couple days ago, or actually it was like a couple weeks ago almost now. Most people are still leaning towards João Gomez over Conor Gallagher, but because January is hard, right? January is
Mhm.
not necessarily easy to get a player in, especially a first teamer. You're always, unless you really blow everyone else out of the water, you're kind of always getting like your B option, your backup option in January. Thoughts on Gallagher? I know we've probably talked about it a couple times.
Yeah. I liked him when he was I think he was at Chelsea, and then I think they loaned him out to Norwich.
You know, he went to
And
He was a beast at Palace. He was Palace's
yeah,
best player.
yeah, I'm sorry, Palace, not Norwich. I was like, I liked him when he was there. I thought we could have picked him up pretty good, but
Yeah,
I don't know how he's done at Atletico. I think he's done all right, but
it's not. He's
it
not really a
hasn't been.
starter. Comes on for like
Yeah,
20, 30 minutes here and there, maybe.
yeah. which is might be similar to what he does here for the start with anyway. So
Yeah, and that's the
um,
thing. I mean, he could definitely come in and kind of be the Casemiro
mhm.
replacement if you want someone like that. But that's kind of what I also see Anderson as. And I definitely wouldn't want to miss out on Anderson. For me, I've said it before: get Anderson first,
Yeah,
and
he's
figure the rest of it out later.
so we had both of our additions for next season for our midfield. We had
Yeah.
Warden and we had Anderson, and I'm just saying, just based on what I saw, Anderson's
Oh
above
yeah.
Warden, like quite a bit to me. Like
Yeah.
it was very telling how much Anderson bossed the midfield around in
Yeah.
comparison to Warden. So
It's Anderson first, and then it's figured out the rest of it later.
yeah,
In my
yeah,
opinion.
like we need to go all in on Elliot Anderson right now. Like
Yeah.
that
I
needs to be our priority.
Absolutely. Yeah, Lori Whitwell claims that Ellie Anderson is our top target, so I'm here for that. We'll see. Well, it's obviously silly season, gonna silly season. He is the only Premier
Mm-hmm.
League player when I checked last with more than 75 recoveries and more than 10 tackles. So he's
Oh,
just bossing off the ball, man. If you look at his progression numbers, they're really boosting this year. So again, gets about the pitch, wins the ball, carries the ball, like it gets stuck in. I'm here
oh,
for it. We need
yes.
Bexy wants to know how old Musikitis is. I believe he's 18. I did feature him in my scouting
Mm-hmm.
report special last week. If you want to learn a little bit more about him, you can go check that out. I forget what part of the video is, but you guys know. But I since he was in the news and he was on my list, I thought let's just throw him in here. But yeah, go check that scouting report out if you want to learn a little bit more about Musikitis, the young Greek midfielder that we're looking at supposedly. So yeah, you're still going Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
Take Gallagher in January for 26 million.
If we're going to be able to have enough money to go for Anderson, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the big thing. If we're not, then leave it. Like there's no point because if
Yeah,
we miss out on Anderson, it's going to be backups
yeah,
for to fill that. So
yeah. We talked a little bit the other week. Was like last week about midfield options because there's quite a few. Obviously, we talked about Ederson. You jumped down
mm-hmm.
in the chat. Ederson supposedly being available. James Garner out of contract this summer. If it were me, I'd get Anderson and Garner as a backup.
Mm-hmm.
I'd fuck off Casemiro and Ugarte, and then I'd go figure out the rest. I'd get like Buati or somebody, or like Muzakaitis or
Mm-hmm.
Keys Smith or somebody, or Hackney or somebody
Keith Smith
creative
would
in
be
that.
my pick.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like because Garner could be free. You could bring him back for free in the summer.
Oh yeah.
He'd be a good like rotation option, especially hopefully being in Europe next year and stuff. We need that kind
Yeah.
of stuff, but yeah, to me, Anderson first, and then figure the rest of it out. Ever, Bexy, yeah, Muzakaitis looks good. I mean, he's 18 and he's playing Olympiacos, so it's hard to gauge it. Like I said, I don't remember everything I discussed in the video. It's kind of like cramming for a test sometimes when I do these videos. I get it all down. I'm ready to go, and then I already kind of shift focus to the next scouting report. That
Mm-hmm.
I move on. I figure it's like your phone number. I don't remember a lot of phone numbers because I don't have to. They're in my phone. Like I don't have to remember it because it's on the video now. I can just go back and watch the video. So what you guys should do when you're done here. um, I do agree, Bexy. Anderson does tick all the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
He's really stepped up. He is literally like he's giving me that Declan Rice vibes. That final season, Declan Rice was at West Ham, and it was just like, who is this kid? He's like the first couple seasons where Declan Rice kind of broke onto the scene. You're like, okay, I see you. And then like that final season, it was like, yeah, he's there's
Yeah.
some he's class. I'm getting that from Anderson this year. He's definitely
Yep.
stepped up in a lot of ways. Danny says, yes, we have the money, pure profit from Garnacho, hopefully Rashford, and Hoyland will be getting some money back from Hoyland, hopefully in January.
Mm-hmm.
Surely Napoli are going to exercise that. He was doing well for a second there, and then he kind of fell off the cliff the last couple matches. I did predict my hot take, if you remember the start of the season, that McTominay would outscore him.
Oh yeah. Mixed sauce doing Scottish things down there in Italy.
Yeah, I'm here for it. And then they just
Mm-hmm.
announce him again as another version of the player of the year for that league
Yep.
because they
Yep.
already
Two
got it, I
times
thought.
Serie. Yeah, he won it last year and he won it this year for Serie A
Interesting.
Player of the Year or whatever. And then he won something else. I can't remember what it was. And I was like, good on you, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
No.
So yeah, Anderson, top for me. We'll see. I think there's a lot of good midfielders out there. We also maybe you're looking at like one of those Ahmad type players on the left hand side. I did a video yesterday on a player that
Mm.
I think could be good. I literally looked at like dozens of leagues, went through 3 different positions: winger, fullback, left wing back. Got one. I did that video. It's only 20 minutes long. You guys haven't watched it yet, go watch it. He is literally the left-sided Ahmad, like hands down. So go check it out.
Guys, don't worry. When we go to over there, I'm going to send all these videos to the United Scouting Department, and they're just going to hire Sean on the spot. So
I need to just start just linking them all and emailing them, so just spamming their inbox until they block me. Or just we'll be like, you ever see those memes of that guy? He's got like long hair and glasses, and he's always just holding a sign up, like
yeah,
just be like that guy, and I'll just write player names and just go stand outside Old Trafford and just be
there
like,
you go.
I'm not gonna say his name. Got to go watch the video. We got an update from Sky Sports, Keith Downey at Sky Sports regarding AFCON. I wanted to get your thoughts on some of this. FIFA has informed clubs that they will be able to retain players until December 15th. So we thought it might be 2 weeks before. Now it turns out it is only a week before AFCON kicks off that we have to keep these players in. Thoughts on that? Because that means we get when is AFCON? So that's the 15th. I'm looking at the schedule real quick. 15th here. So that means that Bournemouth. So will they be here for Bournemouth, you think? Think they'll be taken off right? That's literally the same day as Bournemouth. It's a Monday.
Yeah, I think Maz is not going to be there because I think Morocco plays earlier than Ahmad and Buma do. So I think we might those two might stick around. I think they might still be there. I think Maz is going to be gone. I think they're going to say just as much as they like to. He's going to have it be 15th. I think I was looking it up. I think their first match is the 21st, and then Ahmad and Bruno play on the 24th or 23rd. So yeah, I think it's going to be completely different.
Yeah, Morocco open it against Comoros.
Okay.
I've never even heard of that before because I go to school in America. So yeah, so
Now,
you
don't
think?
quote me on this, everybody that's better at geography than me, and me being the history teacher, but I believe Comoros is an island.
I'm not good with geography. Period. Like you stop learning geography when you're in like middle school, right? Like
Yeah.
you don't really learn it anymore at that point, unless it's correlated with history in high school. But I don't know. It's America, man. We don't really learn anything in America these days other than
Yeah.
how to freaking tweet. Um, so.
It is an island chain. So
Okay, interesting. Now we learn. I don't know, but I'm just so annoyed with AFCON, man. Like, just do it in the summer, like literally every
yeah,
other tournament of its kind, and they do it every 2 years too. Like, that's ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
why? Why are you doing this
My
every
thought.
2 years?
So here's my thought on that, and this is simply because of the geographic understanding I have. Not that I'm saying you don't. It's just it's not everybody.
I don't. You can say it.
Oh, okay. So most of Africa, if I remember right, most of Africa is in the southern hemisphere, or at least most of the countries are. Which means when we're going into winter, they're going into summer, and so this is literally their summer right now. So that I think that's part of the reason why they're doing that.
Well, I still think it's stupid.
Well, yeah, I
You
didn't say
take
it
your
was.
logic and you get out of here, Dylan, because I think it's stupid. Right? Big up, Tim. If you're going to sit here and make a lot of sense and actually come out with facts, and you've got no room in this conversation, Dylan. I don't know what you're on about right now.
Just get up and leave. Like.
Just get up and who talked to you about this? We don't want that in my kind of talk in my stream. All right. It's just annoying. I don't get why they do it every couple of years. It's ridiculous. I'm not a big
It
fan.
is very annoying.
Good news though, as
100%.
far as Mbumo, or maybe bad news, I guess, if you look at it that way. So Andre Onana not selected for Cameroon. So really, it's bad news because it probably means Cameroon's going to go all the way and Mbumo's
Yeah,
gone for a while. Because without Onana, because he did cost them a World Cup spot, I'm pretty sure, with his performances in the
yeah,
qualifiers.
he did.
So we'll probably be
And I
without
just
Mbumo for a minute.
yeah, and just thinking about that, like I remember when he started at Trabzonspor and he's doing really well, and he's like, oh, it's just so much better that I feel like I can do things and everything, and they still cost Cameroon in the qualifiers. I'm like, so really, all that happened is you had less pressure, so you did better. But when the pressure ratcheted it up,
Yeah.
you couldn't do anything.
I told you
So
guys, people thought he was like cocky, like stupidly. So I just think it was an overcompensation of that's the
yeah,
way he was trying to cope with the pressure. Is basically it's cognitive dissonance. He's trying to convince himself
yeah,
and convince everyone else. He doesn't really feel that way at United.
yeah.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. I think the pressure of being, and this is a big part of it. The media will like to sit here and spin it when Anthony goes to Betis or Rashford's at Barcelona scoring goals.
Hmm.
Like what's wrong at United? Like it's La Liga for one. It's Real Betis for another.
Yeah,
Like it's very
yeah.
different. La Liga is a very counterattack oriented league. It's just
Hmm.
the way they are. It favors these kind of players in general, and
Hmm.
it's away from the spotlight. No one cares about you at Barcelona because only Barcelona fans care. The only
Hmm.
time you hear about Barcelona is
Well,
when like their financial issues pop up.
well, and just like looking at Anthony, like you are not one of the big three teams in La Liga.
Yeah,
It's Atletico, and then but they're way third behind Real Madrid and Barcelona.
yeah.
And Betis is never going to be what those three clubs are. So
No, I mean
the
you
spotlight's way off.
you flip a coin at the beginning of the year for La Liga to see who you think's going to win that league.
Hmm.
That's just the way it is.
And sometimes you lose that coin. Atletico Madrid win.
Or you sometimes Barcelona steal it so they can go pay for a player. They'll take your coin. But how are we going to cope during AFCON without Mbuma, without Ahmad, without Mazarawi? What do you think we should how
Well,
do you think we should move things around on the pitch and the team selection and whatnot? You
yeah,
guys get your thoughts in too. What do you think we should do with that?
definitely going to need like unless we're going to actually make some moves in January, we're going to have to keep Xerxes, who seems like he's starting to kind of click a little bit after knocking some of the rust. I'm not saying it's perfect, but he
Yeah,
looked a little bit better against Crystal Palace. Mount's going to have to stay healthy, and Cunha have to stay healthy. They're huge for
yeah.
that.
No more headbutting people in training, dude.
Exactly. And I want to see some youth. I want to see Shea Lacey. Like when
Yeah,
we play Wolves, I want to see Shea Lacey.
Sekou Kone.
Sekou Kone.
Camison, Montato. I think
Yes.
Montato could be a game changer. The kid can play both
Hmm.
sides. He's always getting high up the pitch. He could be that Ahmad style play. Maybe I'll do
Yeah.
a video on Montato specifically. I already did a little bit
Hmm.
of an academy watch. Maybe Montato could be a little bit of a hidden
Yeah.
option for left-sided Ahmad.
And I see that's what I'm going for right there. Is like we promote some youth. If we get somebody in the midfield, and then just go from there. We can make goals.
Yeah,
Dallo will get something like he'll probably get a fluke cross or something like they'll deflect in.
his
And,
100th cross in the Premier League will actually
yeah,
be perfect.
exactly. And then yeah, Dorgu step up. I'm going to talk about Dorgu later.
Oh, all
Um,
right.
yeah, and then yeah, just get some chances here for us to actually go on a little bit of a run here. That's what I'm hoping for.
We, yeah, I think this run before AFCON was where we really needed to get out
Yeah.
ahead. Maybe put a bit of a gap, kind of make a like a wedge in this congested middle of the
Hmm.
table kind of a thing, and kind of separate and lock in maybe a spot in the top six, top five, even if we can. And we're struggling for we played well the second half against Palace.
Yeah.
Obviously, Everton was an absolute shit show.
We
And
dropped 4 points before that, so that was
yeah,
the other
and
thing.
yeah, so it's hard. Like we're going to talk about later. Obviously, other teams today, other results kind of going our way. We do tend not to capitalize on that. I feel like though. So
That's the biggest problem.
yeah, it is a major major problem. Um, so let's talk about this match, you guys. Make sure you like and make sure you're subscribing as well. Don't forget about that. Because head to head, I mean, let's look at West Ham, right? So
Mhm.
Nuno comes in. Obviously, Graham Potter just did not go well. He did now. Nuno came in and he did manage to drag the Hammers out of the relegation zone, but only just. Last time I checked, they were tied on points and GD with Leeds, who were in 18th, but I think Leeds won today, so that
Leeds
could have
won, so
shot.
they're in 17th now.
Yeah, so they're shot down. They are 18th in the league right now for goals conceded. West Ham, so they are
I,
they are leaky.
I just want to say it's the only time I'm going to cheer for Leeds because screw them.
It
But like
feels it feels dirty.
they took it to it does. They took it to Chelsea, and I love it.
I didn't
Oh, I
watch
love
that
it.
one. I was watching Wolves and who did the Wolves play? I don't even remember now. Because I was trying to do some scouting, but that match was just bad. And then I switched over to the Liverpool match, which was awesome to watch. but
Oh,
um,
Love it.
Yeah, it still feels weird to cheer. This is why I don't do fantasy sports because the cognitive dissonance is too strong. I can't cheer for a player on another team just because it gives me some fantasy points. I can't do it. I've tried it. It doesn't work. My brain cannot function at that level. Hats off to those of you who can differentiate that. I just can't. I just can't do it. If it were possible to choose all United players, then I would just do that every week. That's all I would
Hmm.
do. But apparently, you can't do that. But yeah, West Ham struggling both ends of the pitch. Again, 18th for goals conceded, 14th for goals scored. So not great. They're trying to basically survive at this point. They don't create chances. They don't get into the box. About the only thing they are good at in terms of just topping a table is clearing the danger out of their own box. So I feel like that would be better for us now. It almost would have been worse for us if we had Chesko because I don't know if I'd want to play so many crosses if they're that good at
Yeah.
clearing the danger. Um, but as far as we go, I mean, we got back to winning ways after a rough day of the office against
Hmm.
Everton, right? You and I were watching that one at a pub.
Uh,
Not a fun one to watch. But head to head, it's been a bit of a slugfest between us and West Ham over the years. 4 wins against, four losses against as well in the last couple of years. This is why, I don't like the stat when people are like, "Oh, in the last 100 meetings," it doesn't really matter. I'm looking at the last couple of years because it's
hmm.
managers change, players change. None of that stuff's relevant anymore. But
Last 8 to 10 is a good indicator.
yeah, when there's a
Matches.
lot of
So
good similar players and whatnot.
yeah.
As far as West Ham go, I mean, and feel free to jump in at any time because I got a lot of notes here and whatnot. We're going to talk about a lot, but they were scoring for fun there for a hot second,
Hmm.
but they couldn't score against Liverpool. 2 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw in their last 5 as well. Callum Wilson was on a bit of a run. I didn't even realize he was at West Ham anymore. They just
I,
love these big burly
yeah.
strikers, don't they? Go ahead.
No, I was like, I didn't when I saw him out there. I'm like, the hell, when did he get to West Ham? Jeez.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, they got Fulkrug. I don't remember who else they have
Hmm.
there, but yeah, they just like those ones. But he is the sort of striker though that can cause us problems. Again, the old school,
Hmm.
powerful, good in the air. You looking at guys like Mateta, looking at Igor
Yeah.
at Brentford. Again, those kind of big burly guys who just seem to outmuscle us. I don't. So maybe why I'm not leaning more towards Euro in this one. But like I said, they are leaky in defense. They average 2.1 goals conceded per 90. They threw away a 2-goal lead against Bournemouth as well. So it's pretty rough. Thoughts on their form right now, Dylan?
I'm a little surprised that Nuno has gone in there and not really had much of a new manager process. I mean, he got him kind of out of the relegation zone, but they really didn't go on that much of a run. Um, so something's not clicking. So knock on wood right now. Maybe we're hitting them at the right time
Yeah.
because usually we hit them right when they figure everything out. Like a
Yeah.
team like that.
Wouldn't that be funny? We finally a manager finally doesn't have a good manager bounce, and then we get him, and they get like a 2-week manager bounce after that or
Yeah,
some shit.
yeah.
That would
Oh,
be very United. Just like we're the only club who gets called for pushing a goalkeeper. Did you see that nonsense
yeah,
against Palace?
yeah,
Like, what? Come
yeah,
on, dude. This is ridiculous. Binder literally had his arm held against Arsenal, and no one. This is some
yeah,
bullshit, dude.
yeah.
So what can we expect from Nuno's West Ham? He likes. There's a couple things I think we can expect. Part of it has to do with consolidation when you come in with a
Hmm.
relegation side. Part of it is what we tend to see from Nuno, and what we do tend to see from Nuno is mobility in midfield and constant movement to cut off passing lanes. You can see here at Forest against Leicester last season, and you saw it. I had another screenshot from another. It was pretty much the same screenshot, but this is how he likes to set up. He likes to throw off the ball of 4-2-4.
Hmm.
Basically, if you remember the way Liverpool were playing against us last season, a little bit pressing with 4 from the front, the way Ten Hag would use us a little while. Cut off passing lanes, keep moving, and basically just almost man mark a little bit in midfield. That's what you're going to see a lot of from their midfield, but I also said, like a typical relegation side and a typical Nuno side, it is don't be shocked if they want to sit deep, compact, and
Yep.
frustrate us and look to hit us on the break. Look to use the space that if we leave behind, if we press too high.
And that Everton match kind of gave them a little bit of a blueprint, just what to do. They can
Yeah.
sit 5, 6 in the box, and if they got speed on the wings, they'll be able to hurt us. And I saw in the comments there, Bowen, Geoff Wilson are going to be people we got to watch. So
Yeah. Doof is one to watch for sure. He's got 3 assists in the league right now. He's doing very well. Bowen still won. Like people laugh at me when I say it, but I'm like, if West Ham were getting relegated, I would have Bowen as like a striker option in this
100%.
tide as an older Premier League proven
Yep.
guy leader.
I'd take him.
Get him to rotate in with Shesko, maybe rotate in with Mbumo as well, and
Yep.
just have him as an option up there. He doesn't need to
Yep.
play every
And
single match.
you just got to tell him like you are here to provide, and he'd have to. This is all conjecture, so I'm not going to go into it. But it's like you're just going to be the mentor. Like you're there, but
Yeah,
you're going to play a little bit, but you're the mentor. So
yeah, he's not going to play every match. He's not going to
yep,
start every match. You know, he might start,
yep,
20 matches in a season or something, come on a
hmm
lot for like a half hour. Or Shesko's in a poor run of form or something.
yep.
You might be the guy. He's only 28. He's still got a lot of time. I would take him, um, but yeah, we don't want to leave too much space in behind. I don't like the high line we play because, like you're saying, Bowen very direct, very powerful. Somerville very very fast on the wing. Look out for the long balls. Look out for the switches across the pitch, and look
hmm
out for the balls whipped around into the channels. Those are the balls that frustrated me to death under Ten Hag because so often or not he would have us try to control those and put ourselves in trouble rather than just boot him into the crowd and just regroup for a second.
Yeah.
Like just
And
it's got to be
yeah,
like route one here. Go for it.
yeah. That's what I was going to say. If they're going to press us heavy, Route One's going to needs to come back, and we
Yeah.
need to win the second balls.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Parking the bus. I mean, as Danny says, if they go down, I want Doof. Yeah, Doof's a good player.
oh
He's
yeah,
a good young
I'll
player
take
right
it.
now. He's like similar age to Dorgu as well. So, um, but yeah, parking the bus can be effective, but conceding as many shots as West Ham do, it is just a matter of time before they concede. I mean, they let Bournemouth get 28 shots. 22 of those shots against Bournemouth were from inside the box. Bournemouth had 57 touches inside West Ham box, and West Ham have also conceded 8 set-piece goals. They're leaking goals
Mm-hmm.
all over the place. Against Liverpool too, it just didn't look like their hearts were in it. I don't know if you caught any of that.
Yeah,
No one put in any graph. No one showed any grit. They just seemed like so. It was like watching Wolves play today. Wolves just were not up for it. They just could not give a shit today. Wolves. And I mean, it seems like they're already basically banking on being relegated. I think Nuno shot himself in the foot a little bit against Brentford and Leeds. His team selection was a little bizarre. His tactics were a little bizarre. I've seen West Ham fans say they basically almost set them up to fail in those matches too. So it can sometimes happen. Who's in here? Raja, big up, Raja.
hey, hey.
Hope you're doing well. Been a while. How have you been? Yeah, Danny, I did scout him last year, Matthias Fernandes, when he was still at Southampton. Remember, I did that video of Southampton, Leicester, and
I
Ipswich.
remember we played him last year. We talked about him. Like we
Yeah,
should get him, and
he's a good little
just
player.
didn't happen. Yeah.
He's a good little player. He's definitely, he reminds me a little bit like Morgan Rogers or someone who's going to operate more
hmm
as like an advanced 8, pick up that ball and drive it. Maybe like a more mobile Cobby in that regard, more direct Cobby. But I like Cobby. But
Good.
one player they will be without. And speaking of Matthias Fernandes, one player who probably they won't have but Paqueta. Suspended, right? I think you sent me something about that as well. He got sent off against Liverpool for absolute madness. I've seen West Ham fans think that he did that on purpose. You guys can make of that what you will. I'm not going to get into the gambling thing. Um, um, but yeah, we'll probably see Matthias Fernandes step in to fill Paqueta's boots. But again, he is going to be more of a ball carrier than a playmaker, which is what Paqueta is. Paqueta is going to float around kind of like what Patrick Berg does for Bodo Glimt or like Granit Xhaka does a little bit. Just that he's going to float around, pick up the ball, and dictate things. And Matheus Fernandes is just not that. So we're going to see what happens. Malik Doof, he's been excellent for them again. He's got the most assists at West Ham right now, 3 assists. Bowen, big problem. Somerville, big problem. Again, we showed against Palace that we can be vulnerable against those direct counterattacks. We almost got done a couple times. Shaw had to come in and save some bacon on that one. But do they have a facilitator in midfield, Dylan? Is there some who's the danger man for them? Who do you think we need to really keep an eye on? Where do you think their danger is going to come from?
Besides who we've already said, I don't see a lot going to happen through the middle. I think it's going to be those counterattacking balls. And what will probably happen is if we do it like we usually do off a set piece or corner or just lack focus for some 1 second, Somerville's going to go, Juve's going to go, Bowen's
Yeah,
going to try to start. Bowen's going to be the centerpiece to start the attack. They're going to have him try to get to Wilson or to Jeff or Somerville, whoever, and then that's where we're going to be. At least in my head, that's where we're going to be vulnerable.
And don't sleep on Potts too.
Mm-hmm.
Been using Potts a lot. He's really bright, really tidy on the ball. I like him a lot, but he's young and he's new. So I think that if they opt to try to use this as an opportunity to develop him or make him a little bit of a playmaker, I think that there's an opportunity to pressure him. Just let Bruno press him a little bit. Whoever's in midfield press him a little bit. Have a wingback or maybe Cunha or somebody drop deep and just put a little pressure on him. See if we can't force a bad pass or a sloppy touch and get that ball stolen maybe higher up the pitch and then break and hit them.
That's yeah.
Because that's what you want to do with young midfielders. It sounds weird, right? It sounds cruel, but I'm like, fuck it. This is a dog eat dog world out here. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna take that off the screen, y'all. What about United? What about United? We were on a bit of a run. Some people call it an unbeaten run. Some people call it, 3 games without a win. However you want to look at it. But we got 2 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws in our last 5. And like we've been talking about, here's the thing, right? West Ham are going to be another Everton situation. I very easily see that happening. Amorim is really going to have to change things around if he wants to avoid another debacle like Everton, like having so many defenders, being so slow. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
Cunha missing, that hurt us because Cunha's direct. He's really good at kind of getting into the box and linking up with people. A lot of that 1-2, I think we missed that. That's going to be key for us.
Yes.
We have to move the ball quicker, get it forward quicker. We can't just spam crosses in the box. We can't play a horseshoe around their box and try to look for opportunities because they're like up there for most clearances almost. And we just need to get the ball up there quicker. Um, Make it different. Maybe switch things up if you get it forward. Maybe have Ahmad play a little bit more cutbacks rather than holding on to the ball as long as he does. Or maybe just get these early whipped in balls in behind defense. Maybe get Shaw up a little bit. Have him drive forward and whip these balls in. We'll see. But basically, what I'm thinking is everything needs to be done faster. Build up, delivery into the box,
Yep.
etc., etc.
Yep.
Our our open play XG is not been great, despite being the seventh best in the Premier League. Watching us play doesn't seem like we're very good. We are up there with set piece XG and set piece goals, though. So I wish everything would kind of happen at the same time, but it's what it is. What are your thoughts on what would you like to see from us?
We need, like you said, we need to move the ball quicker, and especially, I mean, I think that was the biggest thing with Everton. Like you and I talked about that a lot. Is they went
Hmm.
down to 10 men, and we did it for a little bit. We were getting into halfway decent positions, but then it was just like, we'll get it eventually, and they lost all
Yeah.
their fire. And when the goal went in, they were kind of like, we'll get it eventually. And then they only showed a little bit of fight when the last 10 minutes came up, and they can't do that. You got to scrum the off when they're going to sit deep because that's what they're going to do. They have to come out and they have to move the ball quickly. And even if that's route one to start, and then you kind of trickle in some other things there, just get the ball up.
It just didn't feel like Amorim or the players had any ideas other than
Yep.
like let's get it forward and then let's just keep cycling and try to put cross. You can't do that when you're playing
Yep.
against Tarkowski and like Michael Keane. It's just not
Mm-hmm.
going to work. So if you get it in early enough, though, get those balls delivered early enough, then you got probably because you want to get that ball in behind these guys. When
Mm-hmm.
Tarkowski and Keane are on the back foot, they're fine. They're happy just to clear the danger. You want to make them uncomfortable. You want to throw them off balance, make them run like we see Van Dickless do. What an asshole. Um, but I think we need to start creating more open play opportunities. We need to capitalize on these opportunities. And Brumo's in a little bit of a dry spell right now as well. So I'd like to see us do that. It's just the little things. Poor final ball. The passing was a little off at times
Yep.
against Palace. Late ball into the box. Shots off target. Like Xerxes had so many opportunities against Everton. Just wasn't our day in front of goal. We've had the most shots in the league this season. Last time I checked, so we're getting a lot of shots, but we're just not putting them away. So I think if we can win those long balls, clear those channels when West Ham play those balls in the box, and just don't play such a high line against counterattacking sides, I think we'll be in a better position. So, guys, this is a part where I want to know your starting 11. So hit me with your starting 11s because I want to talk a little team news here. So get those in while we're running along here. Because it sounds like Cunha is fit, right? could be available, but Amorim did have this to say in his press conference that there's two doubts for the game. I will not tell you today because we will change the way we're going to approach the game. So, two potential issues.
Ah,
He already said Maguire and Shesko are gone. Does this? What does this mean here? What are we thinking here? Some people think Bruno's hurt because of the way he was holding his leg. Amorim did come out after that and say he just got kicked. It's not like a hamstring issue. I'm sure it hurt, but and Bruno
yeah.
said he said everything was fine. So I'm leaning more towards it's not Bruno. Um, do you have any? And you and I were texting about this a little bit earlier, and
Yeah.
I had thoughts, or we put it in the group chat, I think too. So
I'm not sure. I really hope it's not Mount.
yeah, that would suck. If it
that
is, if it's
that
Mount or
that whenever
Shaw, I'm done.
yeah, like if it's those two, we're like, oh, we're screwed because that's gonna kill a lot of what we're gonna want to do, um, and that's gonna put a lot of pressure on Lenny to step up for spots or maybe throw Heaven in. I don't know, but and then your attack's just kind of screwed at that point. So
Yeah,
um, I don't know. I really don't. I don't think it's Bruno. I think he'll be fine if they're saying he just got kicked. Amarin's usually pretty upfront with that. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
well, but he says so. He says here it's going to change the way that we're going to approach the game. I don't know
Yeah.
how what that means. If that means like wholesale changes, like hey, we're just
Mhm.
going to change things up. Rajat wants to go back to him back four. I mean, I think we gave up on that argument a long time ago, right? I hear you. I hear you. It's just oh, this is like no point now. So change the way we play the game, we approach the game is different. That it on its face that would almost imply that it's like a key
Mhm.
part of the way we play, right? Maybe a wing back or a center back. I don't know. Maybe yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting. You guys, let me know who do
If,
you think these two people are. Go ahead, Dill.
if it is an attacking, it could be an attacker. It could be a Bumo. I mean
I hope not.
that. I mean maybe that means Bruno gets shifted up, and then you have Casemiro and Ugarte in the center. I mean, who knows?
So that's just yellow card. Just like 8 yellow cards between the two of them.
One
um,
can't run, the other doesn't know positioning. So
I don't know what Ugarte. I don't know what's going on for him. The guy can't get minutes to save his life. He must just not be doing anything in training. That's. I mean, this is the thing. You get to a point sometimes where mentally and emotionally you just kind of hit a wall,
hmm
and it just everything you're thinking and feeling and trying to work through mentally or maybe with somebody else, you get to a point where it's no longer just inside. It's just everybody can see it. It radiates like the way like we're going to talk a little bit about Kavi in a second here because like he was not happy coming on against Palace. Like this is what I'm talking about. You get to a point where your frustration stuff, you can't hide it anymore. And we
yep.
remember from last season that this is the kind of stuff that Amorim did not like from like Garnacho, from Rashford. Like if you're not
hmm
focused, if you're not 100% in it, if you're focused so much on World Cup minutes in the summer that you're wanting to leave or you're not putting in the effort or you're focused and you're not going to play. Now I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here because I'm super
Go for it.
annoyed right now. Like, because dude, honestly, that's piss poor body language right here. Like when
hmm
Anthony was doing this, everyone was livid when Anthony
hmm
was coming on and looking when Ahmad was coming out against Ten Hag, everybody was like not happy with Ten Hag. I get it, but it's like this is bad body language. Like is this even the match for him? Do you play him in a midfield with Thomas Suchek? I mean, Thomas Suchek's winning every single one of
Oh
those
yeah.
long balls. He could probably pass around and move around Suchek pretty easily, but like
hmm
do you start him? Do you give him minutes? Do you start him in the 10 maybe? If you're saying Mbumo's injured, maybe you put Kavi in the 10. He's played in a higher position before, right?
I mean, that would be the only place I could see him doing it because I think he'd have. I think with he can pass a little bit and he'll make those runs. I think that would help the attack, especially if we're trying to move it quick. The only issue would be he's not going to be. Uh, he's rusty. He's going to be like Xerxes. So
Yeah. Bexy says Garte is just the wrong dynamic. Garte for me is just he's just doesn't offer enough.
no,
He's pretty one dimensional with what he can do at the moment, and it doesn't look like he's been able to kick on and add a
and
couple more strings to his bow.
yeah, and I think like we talked about this. I think it's a step too far in the league. Like the Premier League demands a lot from what you're going to do. did fine in France, did great in Portugal. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, he
Yeah.
might go to Spain or Italy and do fine, but Premier League's a whole different beast.
Yeah, I just the Cobby thing is weird for me. Like, so
Mm-hmm.
many fans have been raging about him, like getting his little cameo and whatnot. Where were these same fans when Donny Van de Beek was getting like 30 seconds of extra time under Ollie? Like, these same fans were sitting here saying Donny can't cut it. Donny scored in his debut for the club.
I was one of those guys. I kept saying, "Where the hell's Donnie?" And he never played, and I got pissed off.
Yeah, it was super annoying.
But yeah, it was weird. So
Like,
I don't
where
know.
are these fans? Where did these same
Yeah.
fans sit here say Ollie ruined Donny's career? Like, I've seen a lot of fans saying that Amorim is ruining Cobby Manu's career. I mean,
I I don't think Ollie ruined Donnie's career. Based on what I've seen so far, I don't think. I think Donnie was a product of a system that worked, and I think he just, when he went to a different one, he didn't adapt as well.
yeah, Donny
Um,
just wrong player, the wrong manager. Like, Donny's not a counterattacking
no,
midfielder. He's just not. He
no,
just and by the time Ten Hag arrived, because everyone was like, well, Ten Hag didn't rate him. That's his manager. By the time he arrived, damage was done. Donny was done
yeah,
with United. He was ready
yeah.
to go. But like on
Actually, I
Cobby, like
agree with Manu. So
yeah, I agree. He hasn't quite
yeah,
stepped up, and I do think a lot of it is mental right now.
hmm,
Because I mean, it's all well and good to rate a player and to want a manager to give him minutes, but like, don't filter out the evidence that doesn't support your opinion because you've got some
exactly.
misguided attempts to not look wrong. Like,
Hmm.
that's bias, that's agenda, that's exactly what it is, and it's human nature. We tend to only kind of filter in what suits our argument. We don't tend to see a lot of that stuff. But there's a fine line between wanting to see someone play and turning into player FC, and I think so many fans have kind of pole vaulted over that line, especially when it comes to youngsters. Youngsters need a stable environment, and
Yes.
United have been far from stable for well over a decade.
Hmm.
Steady the ship, stabilize the environment, get a structure going, and then you can
Yep.
develop a lot of these youngsters in an environment where they can thrive.
Yep.
Um, and right, and that maybe the instability. I mean, that's getting to them. I don't know, man. But you guys? Let me know your starting 11s because Dylan and I are gonna talk about ours here in a second. So I'm gonna throw Dylan's up on the screen first and let Dylan walk us through his mindset here. Sorry, there you go. So this is Dylan's starting 11. Dylan, let us walk us through this, Bad Jackson.
All right. So, oh, nice. Thanks for that one. Uh, Laman's, that's straightforward. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm a little concerned. He hasn't looked as confident as of late. I'm not sure if it's just like differences with uh, opponents or things like that. But he's still the best keeper we have. I still feel the most confident. He still goes out and he gets the balls. He root ones it when he needs to. Keep it up. So Laman is our guy. Back three, the only change we're going to make is Lenny, and Mads is going to come in for Lenny. And I think we saw him coming off the Crystal Palace match. He needed the break. You could see
Yeah,
he was putting his heart out there, but his confidence was starting to go. And he's 20 years old, we can't have that. He's done very well in other matches, and just a bad run of form here for a little bit.
yeah,
Just let's rest him. We can throw him on later, get it back going. But let's have Maz start up. I think Maz will be more attacking too. He'll calm it down when they press. He'll be able to carry that ball a little better. He can make that pass a little more.
I wonder.
He might be.
I wonder if Lenny's shakiness has had anything to do with maybe why you think Lamens looks a little less assured back there.
Could be. Very well could be.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. And
It is a ripple effect, right? We've talked about that a couple times
yeah,
now. So
yeah. So that's where I'm going with the back three. Wing backs, Ahmad has to start. We need the attacking link up with Mbumo. And I told you this via text. This is Dorgu's chance. He hasn't been starting. They've been deferring to Dallo.
yeah. Did
West
you
Ham
check? Did
bad
you
run of
get
form.
Amorim's comments after the other day about Dorgu being a little anxious and not doing as well for United as he did for Denmark and stuff?
Hmm.
Yeah,
And this is where I'm like, okay, anxious happens. You're 20 years old. Another 20-year-old kid. We've got a young group here.
yeah.
Um, and Denmark's a little bit different. You have the cultural similarities that are going to bring some of that anxiety down. But this is his chance. Like, Go out there, put a shift in. We don't even need a man of the match performance. We need a solid shift that says, I know what I'm doing. I'm assured
Yeah.
I can do this. And so I'm going to give Dorgu the start over Dallo.
Dorgu is another one where I'm like, he's like Yoro. The foundational stuff he's got, like the
Mm-hmm.
energy, the fight, the physicality. It's just he makes the mistakes that I, again, like Yoro, that I expect a 20-year-old to make. You know,
Exactly.
when to switch off, which runner to
Yep.
pick up, those kind of things. When do I kind of take a step back to make sure I
Yep.
cut out this pass, or when do I run forward? Like
Yep.
that stuff that you're just now seeing, like Shaw in the last year or so, really start to excel at and get to the next level at. And he's 30. Like,
Yeah.
it's we got to develop him. This is why I don't think, we need another option on that left hand
Mm-hmm.
side. So, and I've done
And
videos
and
on that.
and just the extra with Dorgu, I think he, as much as Dallo is attacking minded on the left, I think Dorgu can do the cutback better. He can get to the line and he can get the cutback. We've seen him do that a few times.
Yeah,
So I think
his
that,
crossing
especially
is
if they're
not.
going to,
He
yeah,
just he's and I've said it. Rio said it recently. Excuse me. Gary Neville has said it as well with Dorgu. He's trying too hard to put that
mm-hmm,
ball on a dime when he needs to just put it into space and
yep,
let the attackers do their job.
yep,
You've done your job. You don't need to put it on a literal platter for them. Just send it and just be ready for unrest
no.
defense in case that comes back out.
Hey, if you watched that Fulham almost come back to tie City yesterday or to draw City yesterday, you saw that last gasp they had. I mean, that's pretty much what I forget who they had come on, the new player, their most expensive player did. And I hope Dorgu was kind of watching that. He got into space and he just put it there, and one of the attackers ran through, and it almost got it to work.
And
So
when you're playing a team like when Everton or like what West Ham are going to do, when you can't let them get back in the numbers. That ball's got to come earlier.
mm-hmm.
That ball's got to get whipped in when you're kind of almost just inside the opposition half, maybe almost just outside the final third. You've got to whip it in behind the
Yes,
defenders. You want to make it uncomfortable for
yeah,
Tarkowski, or not Tarkowski, but like Tadibo and Mavropanos,
yeah,
because you don't want them to be on the back foot. You've got to whip that.
yeah,
And like Shaw and
and
Dorgu should spend some time together and just go
yeah,
through some crossing, because Shaw is probably
and
the best crosser of the ball we
oh
have.
yeah, and you got to make it uncomfortable for the keeper too. Just
Yeah.
make it. You got to throw a
That,
couple in there that he's going to catch, but then other ones when the defense gets it, you're not. Then they're not going to know who's going to
that's the
necessarily have.
corridor of uncertainty, is that
Yeah,
space between like the penalty spot and like just outside
yeah,
the box. You whip that ball in there behind on a
yeah,
counter, like the keeper that's too far for the
and
keeper to come off his
yeah.
line is behind the defenders. It's perfect.
And Xerxes, Xerxes got his head on a couple, and
Yeah.
Bumo's got his head on a couple. You never know; they might get something. So,
All right. So Dorgu,
but
Ahmad, you want that
yeah,
creativity. It sounds like you're
yeah,
going with the standard midfield here.
yep. Standard midfield, they've done no wrong. Um,
What do
I
you make
do
of
think,
Bruno kind of running all over the place at times? I know a lot of people have been talking about that lately. We saw a spell where we
yeah,
were being a little bit more compact, like against Liverpool and whatnot, and then like against Everton, and then a little bit against Palace. When things usually hit the fan, we people in general and athletes and footballers, Bruno, they do revert to type, and someone in
hmm
an effort to get something back, he can kind of fall back into some of that lack of discipline. What do you make of that kind of stuff? Do you care because he's getting assists and whatnot, or is it a problem for us? Both or both?
but I think it's both. I think at times when we have the momentum, it works great because
Hmm.
he's ticking passes um, that we need to have. When we're on the back foot, like we're trying to reestablish possession or momentum or things like that, he that becomes a you know, that becomes a problem because now he's just ceding possession. He's making the formation unbalanced. He's causing other people to kind of cover for him. And that's where I'd be you're the captain, but you need like your vice captain, somebody else to come in and say, dude,
I don't
we
think we
need
have
you
vice
to like
captains anymore, right?
no, we don't. But somebody just to come over. And the hard part is I don't know who Bruno's going to respect enough to come do. Maybe Delict and just say, dude, I need you to do this right now, and
That's
we'll build back into this. So
Sometimes it doesn't need to be someone necessarily, in my opinion anyway, that Bruno is like, it has to be like above Bruno. Sometimes it can be the most unlikely voice. Would like, so I got my player care certification course that I'm doing right now, and one of the students has worked, or one of the instructors, sorry, has worked with like a hockey team, who back in like the 80s, they got into a bus crash. A bunch of players died. You might know who I'm talking about. But they doing some research and they're talking about him. And in the locker room, the coach, like they were struggling a lot. This was like 10 days after this accident. They lost a couple players. The coach looked at the youngest player in the team and asked the youngest player, like, do you want to play or do you not want to play? And the youngest player said, yeah, I want to play. And then all the older players followed his lead and were like, yeah, we want to play. Like, sometimes it just needs to be
And
like, I've said it many times, you don't have to wear the armband to be a leader. You can call out Bruno for lack of
yeah,
discipline.
and maybe we this is a perfect opportunity for one of the younger guys to try that. So
Yeah.
or Cunha would be perfect.
Yeah. Cunha, and like Bexy says, when Cunha plays, he drops deeper. And Cunha is like
Mhm.
so good at dropping deep, putting pressure,
Oh,
and just
I love him.
he's able to just not only win the ball, even in his own half, but then carry the ball back up the pitch.
Yeah,
Um,
You
yeah.
guys know Cunha's my guy.
You
So
guys, go
ride or
get your
die.
Cunha shirts in the United vs. Everybody
Yeah.
store. It's 20% off for
There,
Cyber Week.
there we go. There we go. Ride or die. Cunha, ride or die, or whatever it
Cunha
is.
ride,
Cunha's my guy. Ride or die. There we go.
ride or die.
Yeah.
Um,
So
all right, so midfield, you got Mount,
yeah,
you got Mbumo, and you got Xerxes up top.
yeah. Now the only reason Cunha is not starting is because I don't want to like risk anything. It's a
Mm,
head. From what I understand, it's a head injury. I don't want it. Like I think he'll be fine. I can see him starting tomorrow. I'm also super cautious where I'm like, Xerxes did fine. Let's ease him into this. I don't want another major thing happening to him just to
honestly,
kind of throw off the dynamic.
I
So
mean, I'm not trying to steamroll, but I feel like a concussed Cunha is better than a 100% fit Xerxes, in my opinion.
I mean that is true, but
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm
yeah,
not trying to be mean. I'm just I just don't get the Xerxes thing. I love the kid's heart. Like he got a goal.
Mhm.
Obviously, it was great for us at Tournament Momentum. I just don't see what he does. I don't see what the role is in this
Yeah.
side other than like a rotation option at a 10 or a false 9. Like
Mhm.
I just don't see it. He's not enough. If you were content being a rotation option, I'd be like, cool, fine, that's fine. How much are you on a week? As long as it's not over 100K, I'm fine with that. That's fine. um, Mountain's good. Obviously he's doing really well. Got himself a nice goal as well from that free kick. Let's see. Hopefully he's not the one that's injured. Any final thoughts on your 11 before I share mine here?
Uh, I think really what we need to have is, especially if we know where they're going to sit, is to have that back line be veterans to know, and that's why I have Maz back there instead of Lenny. I think that's going
Yeah.
to help. That's going to help more so than anything else. So
Yeah, I think Mazraoui in this system. I mean, it's great that he's
yeah,
versatile. It's just it's really good that he can come in and play as center back, especially if Euro's having a bit of a run
hmm
of poor form, which is going to happen. He's young. I was happy to see Mount kind of go over and reassure him and stuff, and happy to
hmm
see Amorim talk about. Happy to see Euro kind of not going on social media and stuff. So Lexi does not think Xerxes is great, other than close technical control. Cunha is a standard. Big up, Lucky. How you doing?
hey, hey.
Um, Pass on Avram Van Beers. I don't know what you're trying to say, but I'm here for it. Hold on. Care about pressing Bowen, Avram Van Beer. Who the hell is Van Beer? Are you trying to
Maybe it's
drink
Van de
beer in a
Beek.
van with Saka and Avram Glader and Jared Bowen? That's what it looks like right now. I know that English is probably not your first language, so I apologize if I was teasing you a bit. I was just trying to make sense of what you're saying. But big up, Lucky. It's good to see you, man. Um, all right. So here's what I'm thinking, because I don't think that Cunha had an injury necessarily in terms of like whatever. I think it's concussion protocol. The
Okay.
concussion protocol dictates that if it's any sort of concussion or concussion like event, you have to miss a certain amount of days. Like that's just the way concussion protocols are. That's why we have new subs now for concussion protocols. They're taking it very seriously. As far as I even know, in like the U.S., up until like I don't know what the rule is now, but you weren't even allowed to teach like heading to kids under a certain age in
Yep.
footy because of concussion protocol and stuff. So, but this is my 11. I I just went a little nutso with this one because I moved Shaw up to left wing back
hmm
because I think of just the way they play. I think that Shaw, he doesn't have to do as much getting up and down the pitch when you play left wing back as you
hmm
will even as a fullback because you've got two people on that side. I think that having Mount on that side with Shaw is going to help him out a lot. But starting from the back, y'all can probably see that I went a little nutso, and I'm throwing Leacher right back into it against this one. To be honest with you, um, if he's fit enough to be on the bench a couple matches, if he's fit enough to come on for the last 15 minutes or so, let's just do it. Fuck it, we can just do it. It is what it is. He's gonna break or he's gonna be fine. And if he breaks, then we know where we stand with center backs, and we can put Shaw
Hmm.
in the back or not. But we can bring on Dorgu. But it is what it is, man. At this point, I've also gone with Mazraoui on the right. Now, some you might say it's changing too much to the back, but I think because I put Shaw there at the left wing back spot where I want him to whip in these balls, I want him to find these players. I don't have a problem with that. Basically, everything else is almost the same, except I'm also starting Cunha because I think that he will be fine. I think Cunha is even a half fit Cunha to me is a better option to have than Xerxes. I think we need Cunha's directness. I think we need his ability to track back and put in a shift off the ball, and I think we need his ability to really unlock stingy defenses. He's very good at little link up play, give and goes, and just finding a way to get in the box and cause problems. He's either going
Hmm.
to win us a pen or a free kick outside the box, or he's going to get a goal. Um, and I like that. I'm going pretty hard with this one. I'm going pretty aggressive. I want to put out a good side, and I think some of these players are ready, and we can't wait until AFCON to see if they're fit. We just got to go for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, same basic midfield and everything, but yeah, Mizraoui, Licha are my changes, and then I've got Shaw up at left wing back. I think Shaw can be a left wing back option, like I said, especially against stingy defenses where we need to get in behind early. But again, that's just what I would go with. Doesn't mean that I'm like that's the best and I know everything. It's just who I'm going for. So, but y'all, let me know your starting 11s in the chat. But if you still have some thoughts on that, but I want to do. Do you have before? I mean, do you have thoughts on my 11s or anything that you would change that you don't like?
I like that 11. I just don't. It's the type of aggressive I'd like to do against West Ham. I just don't know about how everybody's health is, and I with Leach, I'm just not sure about like is he how much rust has he knocked off yet?
I mean,
But that's
only
just
one way
me.
to find out. There's not going to be, in my opinion, there's not really an ideal situation to do other than if you just want to keep throwing him in for 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there. I'm like, he's just got to go, man. We can wait for 4 matches as you trickle him in, or we can just see how it does. You can always sub him off if you think 45. But I
Yeah.
think that I want him and Shaw linking up. I want Mount linking up. I want that to get out there. So, like he says, Mason Mount, Cunha, correct. Warren doing good when the time comes against Jared Bowen. Possible Ederson. Ederson, what are we saying about Ederson? Huh? I don't know what we're talking about. But Bexy says Mount's a baller when fit. Yeah, Mount when he's
Hmm.
fit, Mount is a baller. It's just
Yeah.
you just never know. It always feels like we're one challenge or one sprint away
Yeah.
from him falling down and getting hurt. So, like he does not think Mizraoui starting. We'll see. I think it's mostly the form of Euro that is wearing me. Obviously, he was our option
Same
when
for me.
Euro got subbed off early on in the second half against Palace. Euro was not having a great match. Um, Score predictions. Get in your score predictions, you guys. Make sure you're liking. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And now I want to know what you guys think this will go down in. Dylan, I'll give you the honors of letting me know
Oh
your
God.
predictions. I've
Okay.
got
The
mine.
last time we did this didn't go well. Okay, I'm gonna knock on wood. If I had saw, I'd throw it over my shoulder. Whatever else we got to do, I'm gonna go 2-1 United win. Um, I want to say more. I want to say 3 United. I want to say 4-1. We're gonna let one in. We always do, but I want. I'd like to have a few go in and really get us going. But I think 2-1. I think we'll get the 3 points. I think we have some of that home field advantage going with the Old Trafford crowd. I think we'll probably see Mbumo get one, and then I don't know where the second one's going to come from. It could be off of set piece, could be off a corner, could be off of whatever. So exactly,
I'm just gonna
play like
start.
you mean
I'm
it.
just gonna start ending the streams on these from now on. So you go 2-1. That was actually my pick. I started off with 3-1, but I'm just like we're not scoring a ton of goals right now.
Yeah.
And which is fine. We're going to have ups and downs throughout the season. All clubs do that. All players do that. I don't have a problem with being good at set pieces right now, but I'd like to get back to scoring from open play. But it also is why
Yes.
I'm like not super confident. I do think we're going to concede maybe a fluky goal, maybe from a set piece or a penalty or something like that. I don't think or maybe like a counter, maybe like a simple counter or something that we just
Mhm.
maybe like it just happens. Maybe Delit misses a challenge or something like that. But I think that we're going to see some goals. And so I'll go 2-1. Again, it does help that West Ham are not good in defense. They're compact, but they're just not good at defending. They've conceded like 8 goals from set pieces, and we're on the top of our set piece form. So, well, maybe it'll just line up. But I
Come
think
on.
Mbumo and Ahmad will be back on it. Of course, Bruno's the guy who's probably going to be involved at some point. So I'd like to see Mbumo get break his duck a little bit here. I'm getting back
Mhm.
into scoring. Tim's going 1-0. Guys, let me know your score predictions in the chat. And what we got here?
Skin of our teeth.
85% of you say United win. 10% think it'll be a draw. 5% of you think it's a West Ham win. We got some infiltrators in here. We got some West Ham fans in the chat. Sounds like Tim's going 1-0. Yeah, sounds like everybody thinks it's going to be tight. Lucky's
Mhm.
going 2-0 because I think that's what they lost to Liverpool with as well.
Yeah.
Lucky says they're terrible in duels. Defensively pressed Jared Bowen and Ederson. Who's who's Ederson on their attack?
I don't know.
I don't know who you're talking about. Who's Ederson? They have someone named Ederson. Hold on.
Ederson Palmieri.
We're doing. Oh, okay. I don't think he plays really.
Oh, wait, no, he's on Mars. Maybe he was
Yeah,
last side.
maybe
Oh,
last year.
wait, was he the one they got rid of? Yeah, he's on loan from
Oh,
West.
I think. Are you talking
Yeah,
about Edson Alvarez because he's gone too?
or Emerson. Yeah, never mind. I typed the
Interesting.
wrong name in. I don't
That's
know.
all right. That's all right. I feel more confident about this one than I did about Palace going into the match. But again, like Everton, part of me does also see the possibility of this being a little bit of a banana skin with the way they
Yep,
play. Um,
yep.
we do have a chance to break into the top 5 with a solid win. We'd have to get like 10 goals to 0 if we want to get into top 4, but we do have a chance to get into top 5. And we do have a chance to take advantage of
Mhm.
other teams around us dropping points, right? I don't know who were you telling me about other because I didn't watch all the games. What were some of the other results?
So Villa won. They won 4-3. Although
Hmm.
they tried to lose it, so they're at 27 points. They're third right now. Chelsea dropped points. They lost 3-1 to Leeds, so they're stuck on 23 or 24 points. Um, Pool lost. Sunderland dropped points.
Oh, Pool drew.
Uh, let me look.
This is
Uh,
insane. Villa, Palace, Sunderland,
yeah,
Brighton are all in the top
yeah.
7. Gosh.
Palace beat
Um,
Burnley. Forest beat Wolves. Yeah, the only draw was Pool and Sunderland, and that's. I mean,
that's insane.
we're in ninth. We could go up to fifth if we win.
Yep. We can go up to
So
5th.
knock on wood. Yeah,
Like I said, we'd have to get like 10 goals to 0 if we
yeah,
want to beat edge out Chelsea
yeah,
for top 4, but I don't see that happening. But
no.
y'all,
We just got to keep pace.
yeah, we can't afford it. When that goes for January too, we have to keep pace
Hmm.
with strengthening and
Yep,
stuff.
yep,
And Dylan and I will be there in a couple weeks to cheer us on against
yep.
Newcastle and against Wolves. So if you guys have any questions for any players and manager, let us know. Be sure to put in a good word for you. We're gonna walk right in because everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, Ericsson's back." Hey, we're gonna be like, "Yep." We're just keep walking. Don't even
I'm
look.
just
Just
gonna be
keep
like,
walking.
hello, hello.
Hello. Um, but yeah, let me know your starting 11s. Let me know your score predictions in the comments if you guys weren't able to catch the live. But we are going to wrap things up. 2-1 win is what we're predicting, right?
Yep.
Nice. So hopefully we'll be back talking about. I'm probably not going to be able to
Yep.
do anything tomorrow. If I do, it'll be a short tomorrow because I've got a
Hmm.
packed afternoon tomorrow. And then, but I'll be back Friday, obviously, to wrap it up and do a match reaction and whatnot, and do my 3 thoughts. So, guys, keep a lookout for that. I know I haven't been able to do an initial match reaction for the last couple of matches, but because I'm just getting busy right now. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. You guys know I always check those comments. Remember, it is 20% off in the United vs. Everybody store right now. You can see the sale going on. There's a link pinned to the chat if you guys want to go right to the store. You can check it out. Make sure you like it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check the memberships as well. And the conversation, just because the stream ends, the conversation doesn't have to.
Hmm.
Starting 11 and Legends members do have access to the WhatsApp group. I did post a fresh post in the post tabs on the channel page. Starting 11 Legend members can join in and keep the conversation rolling. It gets pretty lively in there. Mostly just Liverpool memes and tweets, but it's fun stuff. And then World Cup draws Friday as well for anyone who's interested in the World Cup draw. So interesting stuff about that. We'll definitely be watching some of those matches this summer as well.
Oh
So,
yeah.
What did you make? I meant to ask you about this. What did you make of the whole Cristiano Ronaldo suspension being deferred thing?
I knew it was going to happen.
That's
There's no
ridiculous.
way that they're not going to let him play.
There's other
So,
players that did get reds and they're still suspended though.
but they're not Cristiano Ronaldo.
That's
They're
fucking
not the
nonsense.
moneymaker that he is. And
If
United legend, but still, come on.
tell me FIFA's
Yeah,
not corrupt without telling me FIFA's not corrupt. Right?
exactly.
That's just ridiculous. I don't know. We just want to close on
Hey,
that, but go ahead.
oh, I just had a quick question. I don't. You may have covered this yesterday in your short video, but did you see the report with the possible the 4 players that United's looking to that they're willing to offload in
I
January?
saw reports. I don't think I spoke about it because I didn't know where. I thought it came from like Butthurts or somebody,
I don't remember who it came from. I
or
was
like
just
Alex
gonna,
Crook or some nonsense.
yeah, I was just gonna ask you. Do you think we're gonna like Malasia, Xerxes, uh, Ugarte? Do you think anybody's going to bid on them at all? Or you think that's just conjecture right now?
I think if Malasia leaves, it will be us and Malasia maybe just agreeing to terminate his contract or something,
Gotcha.
and letting him go personally because I don't know. He's on 75K a week,
Yeah.
Malasia, which is a lot more than he really should be, honestly. But
Yeah.
I definitely see Malasia. He's been in the squad the last couple matches, right? We had 5 defenders
Mhm.
on the bench against Palace, and he was in there as well. Ugarte is an interesting one. I think that would be another one of those loan to buy options for like 30 million or
Yeah.
some nonsense, if that were to happen. But if we've only got 4 midfielders, if we let one of them go, we have to buy. So it's going to be interesting. January, we have no choice but to strengthen in January. Is my
Yeah.
opinion. There's just no choice not to. I did a video yesterday on an Ahmad, left-sided Ahmad that Amorim was talking about. So
Mhm.
go check out my pick for
Yeah.
that. I've done picks on videos on midfielders that I think could be good options as well. I've done videos on January deals. A lot of options out there right now. We have no choice. And honestly, my first thing right now, if I was really trying to make sure I stay strong during AFCON and go to hard push right now, just throw a ton of money at Forest right now for Anderson and just see what they say.
Yeah.
Offer him Ugarte, offer him somebody else.
Yep.
Here's a question: you guys can get involved. I know we said we're done, but here's a question: would if you there was an opportunity if you had to spend like 80 to 100 million in January and you had to get rid of Kavi Manu to get Elliot Anderson, would you do it?
Yes.
That was a very quick answer. You guys let me know your thoughts. I'll put a poll out too after we're done, so you guys can get involved in that. But that might be the kind of thing you have to do sometimes to get
Yeah.
your big option, especially a team like Forest. Now it could have a lot to do with Forest and if they stay up or not because they were struggling.
Yeah.
But so think about that, you guys. Make sure you like and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Again, check those memberships, check the store as well. Big sale going on as well. And that's going to be all. Let us know your comments in the. Let us know your thoughts. Sorry, and your predictions in the comments. Dylan, final thoughts before I let you go.
Let's get this thing done, guys. Let's get a win. Let's move up the table. Let's solidify our place here.
Let's fucking go,
Here we go.
baby.
Come on.
All right, take it easy, guys. Dylan, thank you again for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank
It's been a
you.
blast, y'all. Take
All
it
right.
easy.
Have a good one, everybody.